Hey guys, welcome to this edition of Jeep 411. We're bringing you some more good tech stuff today. So today we're going to talk about some bolt locks and how they work and why you need them. So basically, if you're like me, you probably have way too many keys, and with all those keys, you know, you end up with the giant key ring and all that. Well, with the new Gladiator, I find that I'm not carrying a whole set of keys around anymore. I'm just carrying my Jeep key in my pocket, which is pretty cool. So you have some different products here that we're going to install today, and basically, you know, to work all the bolt locks, basically you just use your little key that's with your Jeep key. And for me, I had an issue with this opening in my pocket all the time, so I got this cool little neoprene cover, and it actually just kind of keeps the key from opening in your pocket all the time. But all right, so basically you have your bolt lock. You know, we have different styles. Basically you just pull this little guy off right here to get to your lock, and then you take your factory key, you push it into the bolt lock, you turn it around like that, and basically it's now programmed. So it was that simple. So now that you have it programmed, now it just works with your key. So you go ahead and you can lock that up, and then it works. So pretty much you just push the key in, you turn it, rotate it around, it codes to your key, and now that lock is permanently coded to your key. So the really nice thing about all of this is I've got a couple of padlocks here for when we want to lock stuff into the bed, which is kind of handy. I've got this one that has a built-in cable that I've actually been using to lock up my fridge in the bed. And then we also have this one here, which is a hitch lock, so you can keep your hitches from disappearing. And then we also have the hood lock, which we're going to show you here in a minute how to install. There is a little bit of a difference. This is the JL hood lock, but it works on the Gladiator, and we'll show you that today. So basically, what's really nice about all of this is I can have all of this stuff in the Jeep locked up, and I only have to carry the one key, which is really nice. So you don't have a key ring full of keys with all of these things. So, and it makes it real easy, so you don't have to find a key, you don't have to look, and everything's pretty cool. So all of these are basically, these locks are all set up for your center cut key on your JL and JT. They also have models for your earlier Jeeps, your Fords, your Chevys, all your other vehicles. And obviously this is the center key, but they also have the standard keys, and they all program exactly the same. You put the key in and you turn it. You just need to make sure you order the appropriate one for whatever vehicle or key you have. All right, so I'm going to use this one with the cable here, and I'm going to feed this through. And basically what I'm going to do with this cable is I'm going to lock up my ARB refrigerator, which is sitting in the back here, and we just basically feed that through itself. And now we got our fridge locked up. So basically what I'm going to do with my bolt hitch lock here is I usually in my Jeep I leave a worn shackle hanger hitch receiver thing in the back here. So basically what I usually do is I leave that in 24/7 because we live in the snow and you end up pulling a lot of people out and everything, and it's kind of handy to have. So it's really nice. You can just basically stick your pin through there, lock that guy up, and put the cap over it, and now pretty much your stuff is secure. So now we're going to show you how to install the bolt hood lock. So basically we've got 6 of these little plungers to take off on the grill, and they're located all across the grill. And basically if you have one of these cool little tools, you can come in here and you can grab it, and then once you have that you can wiggle these out. Now if you don't have the cool little tool, you can use a screwdriver, and you can come in here and you can kind of work these little guys up a little bit, and then after you work them up, you can either take it out or you can leave it in there. But basically now you can pop these guys out. If you come in behind here, you can lift the grill up and pop them out. So basically these little clips, when you put this other piece into the top, it basically spreads that out and locks them in. So basically once you have all those removed, then it's really easy to get the grill apart. Well, if your Gladiator's like mine, getting the grill off is going to be kind of interesting because my winch is in the way of actually popping. The bottom of this grill, you just pull and it pops out. Unfortunately, I have this winch in place, so I've leaned my off-road lights forward and I have this winch in the way. So what I'm going to try to do here is, I don't really want to install the winch, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to protect the grill, and basically we're going to see if we can pull this whole grill out and see if we can flex this out. Yeah, so this will work. So right where you're installing the bolt lock is right in this area here. And so even though I have this winch in the way, I don't need to remove the entire grill. I can just pull this part out like this and get to where we want to install the bolt lock. So basically you have your bolt hood lock here, and it comes with these really nice stainless steel pop rivets. So basically how this thing is going to install, it's actually really simple. You've got 4 holes here in the grill where these will install. And essentially what you're going to do is you're going to rivet this in. You'll have these 2 on the top and you'll have these 2 in the front. And that's essentially most of the install, other than there's a couple of different things we have to do. So real quick before I rivet these in, I want to talk about these grills. So if you have a JL, Bolt gives you this new center section for your grill, which replaces these middle 3 pieces. So they give you a new piece to install, which already has the hole in it. Basically, there's a couple of clips on the back side. You slide those out, and then this piece comes out, or the original piece comes out. You put this piece back in. Now, if you have a JL, you have this really tight little mesh, and this piece matches perfectly. So on the Gladiators, they don't have one of these pieces because the Gladiator uses a bigger mesh so that they have for the different cooling system. So what you have to do on this unit is, somewhere along the way I got this. This was a template where you just basically have to go and trim out your existing grill to work with the bolt lock. So normally this grill would actually be off and it'd be a lot easier to maneuver, but we're going to do mine in place here because we can't get the grill off because of the winch. So basically, if you don't have this template, I'm sure Bolt Lock can either send it to you or it's probably in the new boxes. But for my box did not have this, so I went and found this online. But basically, it's just a little cut template. It shows you how to trim this out, which we'll do here in a second. Basically, we have this is how this is going to install. These are going to be your 4 rivets that are going to go in. So basically what I want to do here is I want to make sure all the holes are lined up before I sink the first rivet. And I've got my bolt lock all installed right here into the existing holes on the grill. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to rivet down the first one. So if you don't have a fancy rivet tool, you can do this with a hand rivet tool, and it actually make it a little bit easier to get in because this grill is in the way a little bit. But now that I have everything in place, I'm going to go ahead and do this next one here. Okay, now the 2 fun ones. We're going to have to kind of I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to put this in very carefully. We're going to fight with the grill here, and I'm going to pull this out just far enough to get this in there. Alright, so there's the 3rd one. So basically we just have to pull this grill out far enough. So here we are. We got everything on the bolt lock installed. It's nice and solid in here. You got your place for your key, has a nice cover to keep it from getting all mucked up. And so there you go, pretty easy install. If our grill was out of the way, this would have been a piece of cake. So I would imagine you could probably install this in about 20 minutes if you could get your grill out of the way. So we probably added a few minutes having to, you know, fight with the grill.
Yeah, I just need a few seconds of that. It shows up great.
Basically, I've kind of marked out here in orange what we're going to cut out. You can see your bolt lock is right here. Grill's not all the way back in yet. We're basically going to just trim this section out right here, and after we trim out that section, then we'll have our hole for our bolt lock. Okay, so basically I just used a set of side cutters and trimmed that out, and that made for a pretty nice cut. So I'm just going to use a utility knife, and I'm just going to go in here and just clean up these edges. And we'll just pop this out a little bit and just kind of flatten these out a little bit. Pop our grill back in. Okay, and then once you have your grill back in place, Bolt actually gives you all brand new clips. They actually give you new clips to put in. So you can reuse the old ones or you can put in the new ones. So we'll just go ahead and put in the new ones. Basically just pop it in the hole, snap it down, and do that all the way across the grill. Just make sure your grill is, all your clips down here pop back in. And there you go. That's all there is to your bolt lock. One thing that I already like about this lock that is different than a lot of other hood locks, this basically, when you have it in the open position or the locked position, you can get your key out. And so what's really nice about that is you can actually leave this unlocked or locked and still get your key out. So a lot of your hood locks, you have to leave it in the unlocked position and you can't get your key out. And so this is really nice because you can actually get the key out. So if you're working on it for the day or you're out wheeling and you want your hood unlocked for whatever reason, you can unlock it, take your key out, and you don't have to leave the key in while it's unlocked. So that's a really nice, actually a really nice feature of this lock. All right, so here we are. We've got our hood latches undone, and you can see our hood is locked. So basically you just use your key, come in here, unlock the hood, and now your hood comes up so you can unlock the hood. The nice thing is you can put this back in the lock position, take your key out, and then when you go to shut the hood, it automatically locks, so you don't have to leave your key in there. So you can open this, open the hood, put it back to the lock position. When you close your hood, now it's locked again. Thanks for watching this video on Jeep 411, and make sure you subscribe so you can see all of our new videos coming up, and we'll be back soon with the Gladiator with some more cool stuff.